In today's video, I'm going to be ranking every tier 100 Fortnite Battle Pass skin. In my opinion, I think tier 100 skins are super important for the Battle Pass, so the quality of a tier 100 skin needs to deliver. So I'm going to be giving my opinion on what I think are the best and worst tier 100 skins. Now remember, this video is just my opinion, so be sure to let me know yours down in the comments below. If you enjoy my videos, be sure to use code TuneSpider in the Fortnite item shop to support me. And now let's get to ranking. Alright, so I'm going to start with the Black Knight from Chapter 1 Season 2. He was the final skin of the very first Battle Pass in Fortnite, and I think this skin still holds up really well to this day. Just a simple and clean black and red knight skin that has an intimidating look to it, and kind of like set the standard of what a tier 100 skin should be like. And honestly, still one of the best knight skins to this day, so the Black Knight is going in the S tier. Now next up is the Reaper, and this was a very popular skin in early Fortnite, mainly because everyone referred to the skin as John Wick until we actually got the character in the game. And I'm going to be honest, I think this skin is outdated. Now I do consider the fact that it was released in early Fortnite. It's a very simple design. I will say the tux looks pretty clean though, and there's still a little bit of nostalgia to it, so I'm going to be putting the Reaper in the C tier. Now moving on to Omega, and when it comes to this skin, honestly tier 100 skins got turned up a notch. Omega honestly set a new standard for tier 100 skins with the different progressive styles, the different colored lights, and a really good first style and final style. The skin looked really cool, kind of looked intimidating, and played the villain of that season. He's going to be going in the peak tier. Now next up is Ragnarok. I gotta say, when it comes to him, his final style is so tough. I really like that full Viking look. His helmet looks sick, and I really like the blue glow. But here's my problem with Ragnarok, is I don't like all of the styles. And sure, it can be really cool to have progressive skins, but if I don't like some of them, I can't put it in like peak or S, so Ragnarok is going to be going in the A tier. And then next up is Dire, and I really like the werewolf transformation for this skin. As you unlock different styles, he goes from a human to a werewolf, and you see that progression with each style. You get a few different colors with the skin as well, and I think it's a pretty good design. I don't really like the first two styles that much. I pretty much only like the full werewolf look, so because of that, he will be going in the A tier. Now moving on to the Ice King, and honestly he's another tier 100 skin that I think turned it up a notch when it came to being the final skin in a battle pass. The Ice King look is incredible. I'm really hoping to see this one remixed for OG Season 7. The color schemes that they picked for the skin were amazing. Everything about this skin was pretty much perfect for Chapter 1 Season 7, and when you go to Polar Peak you can just picture the Ice King sitting on that throne, so he's going in the peak tier. Then next up is Lux. Probably one of the most hated tier 100 skins of all time, and ranking her for a tier 100 is always interesting because I do think she's a pretty good skin. Yes, she's kind of simple, but she's got different color schemes for her outfits. The overall design is pretty good. She just doesn't really feel like a tier 100 skin. She feels more like a tier 1. But because she was tier 100 and there's no really different styles for her, there's no real transformation or progression, just different colors to her outfit. So with all that said, I'm going to be putting her in the B tier. Then moving on to Vendetta. Now this is a tier 100 skin that I think is underrated, but at the same time I don't think it's amazing. I think the design could be a lot better, which is why I hope it gets remixed for OG Season 9. I really like the helmet and the mask, and I like the flame effect on the shoulders. I'm not the biggest fan of all of the color schemes. I just feel like there was a lot missing for this skin to put it in S or peak, so Vendetta is going to be going in the B tier. Then moving on to Ultima Knight for Season X, and I think they delivered with this one. I do like the origin style more than the Ultima style. The Ultima is just a little too bulky. There's a little like too much armor. It doesn't look as sleek as the origin style, but I love the color schemes that they get, the gold, the red, and the silver. I think all of them look great, but because I like one style and a little iffy on the other, I'm going to be putting Ultima Knight in the A tier. Then next up is Fusion. Fusion has a cool design, and I really like the white and gold style, and I like the purple and blue glow for the first style. I wouldn't say it's an insane tier 100 skin, so I'm going to be putting him in the B tier. Then moving on to Midas. Now he was a really good tier 100 skin in my opinion. The suit is clean. You can pick Ghost or Shadow for him. You can get the all gold style. The tattoos are cool. There's a lot to like about this skin. I will say there's a couple Midas skins that have come out since then that I like more, like Ascendant Midas and Outlaw Midas, but the original is still really good. He's going in the S tier. Then moving on to Eternal Night. I like her armor designs. The black and red style is definitely my favorite. I think the helmet is pretty cool. It feels a little unique compared to the other Knight skins, so she's going to be going in the A tier. Then we got Tony Stark. Let's be real, it was obvious he was going to be the tier 100 skin for a first Marvel season, and I think they still delivered. I think it's really cool that you get just like a Tony Stark skin, and then you get the built-in transformation emote, and then the Iron Man suit forms around him, and you get the classic red and gold. I definitely would have liked to see other styles, other Iron Man suits for the battle pass, and eventually we did get that in the item shop, which, let's be honest, that one is better. But the Tony Stark skin is still just amazing. So he's going to be going in the S tier. Then next up is Menace. We got this really tough looking gladiator skin, and I really like his final style. You get a few different helmets, which all look really cool. The gold armor is clean. I like the pink flame effects that you can have on the helmet or the shoulders. I feel like it's everything you would want for a gladiator skin. And again, my only issue with this skin as well, like I had with Ragnarok, is I just don't like a couple of the styles. So he's going to be going in the A tier. And the next is the Spider Assassin. I actually don't mind it. I don't think it's amazing or anything, but I do think the armor is pretty cool. I think it has really good color scheme to it, and I really like the way it shines, and I really like the helmet as well. I just feel like it's not enough for a tier 100 skin. I would have definitely liked a couple more edit styles or maybe a couple different color schemes. So I'm going to be putting the Spider Assassin in the B tier. Then next we got Rick Sanchez, and yes, he made sense for the season, and the design is accurate to the character. I just don't really like the skin, and I definitely don't think it's a good tier 100 skin. Probably would have been better as a secret skin, so Rick is going in the C tier. Then next is Carnage. For starters, I would have really liked a comic look over the Sony movie look. Even though I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, huge Marvel fan, the Carnage skin just doesn't hit for me, and I honestly just expected better for a Carnage skin, so he's going in the C tier. Then funny enough, the next one is going to be Spider-Man from Chapter 3 Season 1. If you've watched my videos before, you know how I feel about Spider-Man, all-time favorite superhero, all-time favorite pop culture character, so on and so forth. We got 3 amazing designs for the character, and I love the comic accuracy for the suits. It really is just perfect. So he's going in the D tier. Nah, I'm just kidding. He's going in peak. I know nobody fell for that, but I just wanted to do it. The next up is Doctor Strange, and I think this is a good skin for him. You only get one style besides the super styles for him, and I think it's exactly what you would expect for a Doctor Strange skin. So he's going in the A tier. Then moving on to Darth Vader. I mean, come on, let's be real, it's the greatest villain of all time. The design is amazing, super accurate, and that helmet just looks so good in the game. He's going in the S tier. Then moving on to Spider-Gwen. So more specifically, this is definitely going to have the Spider-Verse look, the Spider-Verse movies to clarify. And this is a great design for that animation. The suit looks perfect. You get a mask off style as well. I definitely would have liked a Fortnite like render model style like we got for Spider-Man. So that way I could pick between the two. But that is a little nitpicky. She's still an amazing skin. She's going in the S tier. Then next up is the Ageless. It felt like it had been a while since we got an original tier 100 skin at this point, and they didn't disappoint. This Knight skin is incredible. In my opinion, it's pretty much everything you'd want in a tier 100 skin. You get this really cool base design, the blue, the gold, the white. There's a really cool suit overall. Then you get the built-in transformation to get this all white and gold Knight look with the coolest helmet I've ever seen for a Knight skin. It's sleek, it looks tough, it's got an intimidation factor to it. He's going in peak. Then next up is Mizuki, and I think they nailed this skin as well. She was perfect for the theme of the season. The blue and purple suit looks so good, along with her magma style. And it's a small detail, but I like for the magma style that the eyes are lit up orange. I think that's really cool. I don't think they missed it all for any of her edit styles. I think this is a flawless tier 100 skin. She's going in peak as well. Then moving on to Optimus Prime. Now don't get me wrong, I am a fan of Transformers. I love Optimus. His motivational speeches could probably get me to run through a brick wall. That's how good they are. But as a Fortnite skin, it's just not for me. But I will say the design is really good. So I'm not going to be putting it like in D, right? Because I acknowledge they did a good job with the skin. They somehow matched the Fortnite size model. Then you get this battle tested style as well, which is really cool. So he's going in the B tier. Now moving on to Kato Thorn. Honestly, for a tier 100 skin, he probably has one of the most drastic changes from one style to another with the built-in transformation. I think it's awesome. I love the vampire look. I love the colors to it. The Revenant style is so good. And I also like his human look as well. He's dripped out. He's got some cool clothing options. I like small details like the accessories, like the necklaces, for example. So he's going to be going in the peak tier. Now moving on to Omega Rock from the OG season. Yes, I am going to count the mini seasons. And Omega Rock was a mix of Ragnarok and Omega, and I think it turned out pretty well. I like the Omega suit on Ragnarok, and then you get the different colors, which is cool. And for a second style, you get Ragnarok's helmet, which looks so good with the suit. I think they did a good job remixing the two. This skin's going in the A tier. Now we're moving on to Valeria, and I've talked about this before. This is probably the most underrated skin. We definitely need to get reskins for her soon. She needs to be back in the storyline, but her skin is great. She's got great color schemes. She has the flame effects to her, and honestly, you can kind of just feel how powerful she is with this skin, which I think says a lot for a tier 100 skin. I think she has a really good design. She's going in the peak tier. Then next is Hades, the ruler of the underworld, and they absolutely nailed his design. It is amazing, especially if we're looking at the immortal form. That Styx River glow looks so good, and it's a small detail, but I really like those glowing fingertips. I think they look so sick. The helmet is awesome, the crown is cool, everything about this skin just flows so good together, and as a bonus you get that purple style, which looks great as well. He's definitely going in peak. Next we got Megalodon. I've always felt like this was a very intimidating tier 100 skin. Reminds me a lot of Bane from DC. Well, at least the second style does, when the nitro's just flowing through him. And I just think it's a really good tier 100 skin. And I think that Oasis color scheme looks pretty cool. I think there's a lot to like about this skin. It's not enough for me to put it in peak, but I will be putting him in the S tier. Then we got Shuri. There's so much that I like about her skin, from the base style to the Wakanda Royal color style. And then of course you got her Black Panther suit, which is reactive. I like pretty much everything about her design. She's going in S. Then we got Meowtis. I figured they were gonna remix the two, and I didn't know how it was gonna turn out, and I still don't know how I feel about it, to be honest with you. Like, everything they did design wise makes sense, but it also looks kind of weird. Like, I don't know, Midas's hair on top of Meowscles just looks odd to me for some reason, but I think the tattoos on Meowscles look pretty sick. And I think it's cool you get that gold reactivity with the skin. Overall, I think it's solid, so he's gonna be going in the B tier. Then we got the Night Rose, and I think she was a great tier 100 skin for that season, especially since she was corrupted under the Dark Presence. Her base style is amazing, the colors are great, and then you get that tactical Night Rose that looks intimidating, it looks sick. Everything about that design is awesome, and I think the restored Night Rose is pretty good as well. So she's going to be going in the peak tier. Then next is Sub-Zero, who got the MK3 style, and then we got the Bihan look as well. And I think they absolutely knocked it out of the park with his skin. All of the styles look great, so Sub-Zero will be going in the peak tier. Then next we got Palpatine. I was feeling a little conflicted with his skin, because yes, he is a legendary villain, and I think him being the final skin for that battle pass made sense. But I had to think about it from the perspective, if this wasn't Palpatine, would I like this skin at all? And the answer was no. It's an old man with a huge cloak. I will say I like the Chancellor style a little bit because I like the color, so I'm going to put him in the C tier. Then next is Morgan Mist. Now, I've always liked this skin from the beginning, but it's grown on me more and more over time, especially that white and red style. I think that looks so clean, and the Darkfire style is great. My only issue is I wish they would have changed the outfit. I wish they would have given her like a supernova suit style. I feel like that really would have rounded out the skin, like for example the one we saw in the surveys. But either way, I still think she's a great skin. I just wanted a little more for a tier 100 for her, so she's going to be going in the A tier. Then next we got the green/white ranger. We got the GOAT of the Power Rangers in the game, and I couldn't have been more excited because the white ranger was my favorite ranger growing up. The white and gold suit just looks so clean. The green looks great as well, but I was more hyped for the white ranger. This one's definitely going to have a little bias to it, I'm not going to lie. He's going in the peak tier. Then we got Homer Simpson. I've talked about it before, but the Simpson skins just turn out so good in Fortnite. And I'm glad we got the classic Homer look. And then we got Evil Homer as well. I mean, both of them just turned out amazing. He's going in the S tier. Then finally, we have our newest tier 100 skin, Dark Voyager Redacted. And if you want to know how I feel about every single style, be sure to check out my Chapter 7 Season 1 ranking video. But just to summarize this up, I'm not the biggest fan of like astronaut skins, but this one's amazing. And the fact that it plays in the storyline, the fact that the Dark Voyager's been there the entire time watching us, that's crazy. The cube in the helmet is awesome. I love the white and blue style. The black and red is great as well. And the Burning Voyager is insane. Easily one of the best tier 100 skins we've ever had. He's going in peak. But there you have it, that is my ranking for all of the tier 100 skins that we've had in Fortnite. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to join my Discord server, that link is going to be in the description. Be sure to hype the video to help me out, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.